If you've worked a corporate job for at least 10 years and you've started no less than two side hustles outside of the industry that you work in, this is the video for you. And by the end of this video, I'm going to change the way that you've looked at online businesses, at side hustles. Before we get started, I'm Brian O'Neill, and I help busy corporate professionals launch online businesses using the skills and the knowledge that they already have. This video was inspired by a conversation I had recently with a gentleman who worked in HR for 20 years, and he was looking at doing PDF farming and digital marketing. Unfortunately, I have this conversation multiple times per week, and I committed this same crime myself. I have a 25-year sales career, and I started a real estate business. Really dumb. Now, it worked for me. I got out of my 9 to 5 using real estate, but I ignored what I already knew how to do. So I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share a document that I put together again, that this will be part of the description. So these are the top corporate departments that most major corporations have. And I'm just going to run through them real quick. So you've got sales, you've got marketing, finance and accounting, human resources, HR, you've got operations and supply chain, you've got the IT department, you've got project management, customer service and support, you've got the legal team and compliance, product development and R&D. And I can't tell you enough how many times I see people working in these particular departments for a long period of time. They're in sales, they're in finance, they're in marketing, they're on the legal team, they're in HR, and they are looking to doing things like drop shipping or e-commerce or opening up an ATM machine business. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The fastest way to earn income is doing what you already know how to do. Now, I'm going to go back to this document again and really make you understand why this is the way that you should be going and not looking at a side hustle that you know nothing about, because you are competing with people who do know something about that particular side hustle. You already know about sales. You already know about marketing. Whatever department you're in, you know everything there is to know about it if you've worked for a company for 10 years or more in that particular field. And instead of looking at a side hustle that you have to learn from scratch, plus, oh, business is hard and I have to deal with the trials and tribulations of being my own business owner, that is a recipe for failure right there. It's very difficult to pull that off, which is why you don't see a lot of success with people that go from one industry, right? Marketing or human resources or sales, and they do something completely different. They have to learn the brand new skill, which takes time. And then they realize that, hey, I don't really like this thing and I don't have a lot of time. Because if you've been working a job for 10 years, right? Likely you're a little bit further along in life and maybe you have a family, like you got kids and you have responsibilities and you got a busy life, versus someone who's in their 20s who doesn't have a lot of responsibility, who doesn't have a family. And yeah, they've got time to go learn how to do drop shipping, or they got time to go learn how to do PDF farming or whatever the flavor of the month is. Like, you've spent a lifetime learning how to do this stuff. Go do it on your own. You're doing it for a company. They're paying you already for your set of skills, because if you're in sales, you're bringing in revenue, you know how to close deals. Go do it for other companies. This is exactly what I do. I consult for other businesses who need help with their sales and their marketing, and they don't know how to scale their businesses. If you're in marketing, you know how to bring attention to businesses. Do you know how many businesses have problems with getting attention? And that's why they're not getting customers. This is a huge business to look after. Finance and accounting, bookkeeping is the first thing that comes to mind. And I have several bookkeepers in my community, W2 Prison Break Nation, that worked in finance for their W2 job, their 9 to 5 job, and they started a bookkeeping business, because every business needs finance and accounting. HR, again, you're hiring, you're training employees, you're retaining employees. These are skills that you can bring to other businesses. And I want you to look at all of these different areas of business and understand that not every company can afford to have an IT department or a project management department or a sales team or a marketing team. And you can be that team, that individual for a business, for a small to medium sized business. You can do it in the form of being a fractional employee where you can work for multiple companies at the same time and actually make more money than you do for your one 9 to 5 job. And you could set your own hours and you could set your own schedule, or you can have an agency, right? Like you can just simply help these companies, these smaller to medium sized businesses with these individual areas that you have expertise in, that you already know how to do. There's absolutely zero learning curve for you when it comes to knowing how to do the thing that you've been getting paid for 10 plus years. I want you to look at your employer and understand that your employer, your boss, the company that's writing your paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, they are a paying customer. And the moment you realize that they are a paying customer and realize that they hired you because of your skills, they hired you because they see value in you already and they're paying you, that is all the validation that you need. You do not need to go out and ask other people, hey, would you be interested in this? No, it's already been validated by your paycheck and by the corporation that hired you. And if you got promoted in that same company, further validation. They picked you, they had other options. For those of you who want to get into business, and you say things like, well, I'm not good at sales, or I don't really like sales, and I don't want to sound salesy. I have two thoughts for you, and this can come off a little bit harsh, but number one, sales is part of business. If you don't like it, you're not going to succeed in business. And by the way, you can also hire that out. The second part of this, very simple. If you don't think you're good at sales and you don't like sales, how do you think you got your job in the first place? A job interview is a sales call. That's exactly what that is. You're selling yourself. You put your resume together, that's sales, right? You put all your skills on there, that's more sales. And then you get into the interview and you have to speak to not one person, but probably 3 or 4, and you have to come back multiple times. Those are all sales calls. So you can do this. You absolutely can do this. It's just a shift in perspective and it's a shift in mindset. So, watching this video, what makes more sense to you? Starting a business with what you already know how to do and then being limited to packaging up your offer, just figuring out what am I going to offer to businesses, right? To other businesses. And then how am I going to get attention, right? Because those are the problems that you're going to have as a brand new business owner is you have these skills, you have this ability that's already being validated, by the way. So I will not accept that as an excuse. You need to get known. That is the biggest thing that you need to do is get known. And I just went back to one of the departments on the list, which is sales and marketing. You can go help businesses with their sales and marketing if that's your field of expertise. But those are things that you're going to need. So you can either hire that out or you can just learn it. Either way, you're going to have to learn it. If you go and look at a side hustle that you know nothing about, you have to learn about that side hustle. And by the way, you may not like it at all and you may not want to do it. You'd be like, oh, this is hard. I got to learn all this stuff. I don't have time for it and I really don't like it. And then you still have to deal with sales. You still have to deal with getting attention and getting known. The path to success is much shorter, far shorter when you already know how to do the thing, right? And just taking it straight to market. And you can simply focus on getting leads, getting attention, and closing your first clients. You will have such a greater opportunity to be successful and grab your first clients than if you're spinning your wheels, trying and testing out 3, 4, 5 side hustles and just spinning your wheels, trying to find the thing that's going to work when all the while The thing that will work is what you're already doing. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you grab the 2 free resources that I'm leaving for you. Number 1 is the document that I shared with you so that you can look at some brainstorm ideas. Number 2 is my skill to business formula, which will help you nail down your business idea using some specialized AI prompts that I've developed that will help you pull out the best idea based on what you already know how to do in your current 9 to 5 job. Download it now.